Off the coast of South America, Captain Cousteau, after a jet flight from France, is shuttled by helicopter to the bow of Calypso. Cousteau has brought film stock, sailing charts, and anxiously awaited mail packets from home. The expedition to the Chilean channels will now proceed. Marine biologist Dr. Emilio Aguayo, expert on marine mammals and their behavior, will accompany the men of Calypso as they sail to the tip of South America to investigate all forms of life dependent upon the sea at the end of the world.
C'est les papiers pour les satellites, les deux cartons là.
Cousteau has brought special photographic supplies to receive weather photographs and maps directly from NASA satellites. They will soon be underway for waters never before sailed by Calypso. For the crew, it will be the last mail call for weeks.
Oui. Docteur François pour le courrier. Docteur François, Makigan, a letter for you.
Yeah, they better have some for me.
Now, equipped with helicopter and modern navigational equipment, Calypso begins her journey south through waters first daringly explored by Magellan in 1520. The famed Portuguese navigator was aware that early Chinese and Greek scientists had proved the world was round, but the general belief was that it was flat, and there were sailors who feared their ships would drop off the edge of the earth.
Magellan was convinced that the world could be circumnavigated. He would use the sun and the stars to position his ships. In small vessels tossed by violent storms, his men sailed in apprehension of the Sea of Darkness. While Magellan forced a strait leading to undiscovered oceans through the solid landmass at the end of the world, his superstitious sailors were afraid that giant sea serpents would rise out of the waves to demolish their ships and consume them. Imaginary leviathans with gleaming tusks left little hope of returning from the fearsome sea.
Suddenly, in the path of Calypso, the living reality. Descendants of the creatures that inspired terrifying tales eye the men of Calypso. It is a new age of discovery as Cousteau and his men explore life as it exists today, both above and below the waters at the end of the world. In search of the indigenous peoples and the awesome sea animals that Magellan first encountered 450 years ago, Calypso sailed south along the coast of Patagonia toward what was until recently called the uttermost end of the world.
Off the shores of Golfo San Jose, we enter the traditional haven where southern right whales come to mate and bear their calves. Cavorting dolphins are escorts at the whale's nuptials. When we arrive as witnesses, we are greeted with exuberance.
These are called right whales because they have a high oil content and instead of sinking, float on the surface when dead, making them the right species to hunt.
And hunted they were, without mercy, to the brink of extinction. Only a small surviving nucleus remained when the Argentinian government extended to them full protection along these coasts. Unlike sailors of old, the whalers always knew they had nothing to fear from these powerful but harmless creatures. Our cameramen can easily approach them. They are incredibly gentle and accept us with amiable curiosity. The grotesque clusters of parasites on each whale are as individual as man's fingerprints. Scientists use photographs instead of tags to identify and track them.
Guy Jouas records the sounds of the whales breathing through their twin blowholes, while hydrophones will record their complex moans, pulses, and belching sounds as the divers accompany them underwater. A friendly female permits inspection of her bonnet of parasites, then submerges as eager males arrive at the breeding grounds. One ardent male pursues his prize under the zodiac, and Philippe is caught in the turbulence of courtship. Philippe observes two more males moving in on the female. The coy female tantalizes her suitors by floating on her back so that she cannot be easily approached.
Scientists have observed that estrus females, although courted by several males, usually select a single mate. The female must eventually roll over to inhale fresh air, giving the most aggressive male the opportunity to attempt coupling, while gently caressing the female's thin, sensitive skin with his flipper. The ardor of the converging males rises to passion. Less defensive now, the female slowly sinks to submission. Squeeze a crowd, and still another male descends. Now we seize the opportunity to provide science with a film record of a major aspect of whale behavior never before observed. As the aroused males become more vocal, we document for the first time the mating of a great whale. These warm shallows offer an ideal breeding ground, a promise for the whale's survival. The impregnated female will return next year to give birth to her single calf and nurse it until it is prepared to roam the oceans. The whales depart, we know not where. We hope our fulfilled female will not encounter one of the last whalers' exploding harpoons, for in the high seas, whales may gain protection only by a wave of public concern.
Calypso proceeds down the coast of Patagonia toward the tip of South America. Cousteau's crow's nest is the reconnaissance helicopter from which he sights desert-dwelling penguins. They are ring-necked Magellan penguins, named for the famed explorer who described the flightless birds as strange geese. Later, whalers and sealers came to gather penguin eggs. They preserved them in kegs of seal oil to provide sustenance during endless months at sea. Cousteau unexpectedly discovers a colony of Dos Pelos fur seals. Dr. Aguayo and other scientists thought they had been hunted to extinction. Here, too, it is the mating season, and the affection of the seals may signal their comeback.
We count fewer than 100 individuals in what is perhaps the last colony of Dos Pelos seals, so named for their double fur coats. The sleek young females display an intense interest in our divers. As the females flirt, the pug-nosed bulls become jealous of our men. The king of the harem charges. We decide to leave their underwater arrangement as we found it.
Calypso departs the wide waters of the South Atlantic for the inland channel separating the mainland from Tierra del Fuego. In search of the vanishing tribe of Indians known as the last nomads of the sea, Calypso follows the lowering sun. Ahead lies the Strait of Magellan, connecting the Atlantic to the ocean Magellan named Pacific. The newfound passage that first linked the known world to the unknown world. In the Strait of Magellan, Calypso encounters thick weather. It rains here 200 days a year. Annually, 200 inches of fresh water mix with the upper layer of the sea and drastically reduce its salinity. Calypso divers will explore the marine life that has been able to adjust to such conditions. Early explorers saw only the surface of these waters. Charles Darwin, who in 1834 took samples of marine creatures in the Magellan Strait, could only guess what mysterious life dwelled below.
Here, in the land of no sun, we take our sun with us. The dominant scenery is a thick kelp forest with broad leaves and branches longer than anywhere else in the world. A sea monster in miniature. It is a Galathea. To the minute plankton upon which it voraciously feeds in these waters, it is a fearsome monster, a strange creature that swims backwards by flipping its abdomen. These 4-inch crustaceans are one of the major food sources of both the whale and the fur seal. Because of the furious slaughter of whales and seals, the Galathea population has exploded, infesting the bottom and squeezing out other forms of life. Now, a strange creature with a long trailing tail descends toward us. The brilliant throbbing comet is a form of jellyfish. Its pulsating bell squeezes out water as it moves by jet propulsion. Its long feeding tentacles with millions of sting cells fire out at prey it encounters. A lucky little fish spends its larval stage under the protection of this jellyfish.
Never before has a submersible penetrated these deep, narrow, precipitous channels to discover what lies beneath the depth capability of aqualung divers.
Passager Colin Mounier, pilote Cousteau.
In midwater, we pass through a profusion of feeding Galathea and continue our journey down. Penetrating into a colder layer of water, we film with our upper camera creatures that at first look like spiny eels looming out of the darkness. They are hakefish, not eels. Hake and other codfishes are the only fish in the world that have a combination of 3 dorsal fins. The powerful muscles account for the hake's graceful swimming motion.
Philippe Cousteau descends through the pack of iridescent fish to film the life that exists 1,000 feet below. Discovered in the dismal depths is a bottom-dwelling rat tail, a juvenile with bars on its body.
Il est 12h15.
The rat tail grubs along the slimy bottom for small worms, but flees the saucer's lights for the security of darkness.
In ascent, it is as if our diving saucer were encountering a cosmic body. In fact, it is alive. It is a primitive comb jelly, reflecting light back from our saucer. The tiny spaceship of the sea must wander at the mercy of the current.
Encouraged by the comeback of the whales and the seals, the Calypso team proceeds northward through the maze of the Chilean channels in search of an endangered human community, the Canoe people, a disappearing tribe of Indians hidden somewhere beyond the tier after tier of snow-capped fjords. While zigzagging through the vast network of the Chilean channels, Calypso comes upon a large colony of fur seals. This refuge at Pierre Island is apparently successful. These seals, smaller, sleeker, and more secure than the Dos Pelos fur seals, swim with the divers unafraid. Albert Falco prepares to pilot the saucer for the University of Chile's Director of Marine Biology, Dr. Emilio Aguayo, who doesn't dive. For the portly scientist who has spent his life studying seals but has never viewed them underwater, the hatch is a tight fit.
And now?
Un brazo y un otro.
Un brazo primero y después otro. Muy bien.
Sí.
Adiós.
Sí.
Oh. No.
Sí, sí. Muy bien.
Ya.
Secure within the saucer, Dr. Aguayo will be able to view fur seals in their natural environment and study their patterns of propulsion. Cousins of the sea lion, fur seals use their front flippers like wings to fly underwater. Their hind limbs serve only as rudders.
Eso no mueve.
Fur seals are able to dive to depths of 350 feet. They can remain as long as 4 minutes underwater and occasionally generate bursts of speed up to 15 miles an hour.
A young seal takes exception to prying eyes. Scientists like Dr. Aguayo have taken action to curb the killing of both whales and seals here. It is now up to whaling and sealing nations to protect the breeding stock of all mammals throughout the world.
An advanced scouting party now precedes Calypso through the narrow Chilean channels en route to the traditional hunting waters of the Alakaloof Indians. The runoff from continuous rains and the summer melt from glaciers on the Chilean side of the lofty Andes provide the team with fresh, highly oxygenated drinking water. Following the liquid trails of the canoe people, Bernard Delamotte and Philippe thread through a universe of desolate, lushly overgrown islands. A steamer duck too heavy to fly paddles to hiding.
Arrive, ici.
Philippe has discovered a colony of channel fur seals. Legally harvested by Indians, the seals feel secure only in the water, but a male and mother remain steadfast to protect their newborn pup.
Here, for centuries, the hunted and the hunter have coexisted. The seals, carefully harvested to assure their survival, and the canoe people, deriving all their subsistence from the sea. The Indians we seek have for generations beached their canoes near beds of shellfish, which are their staple diet.
Bernard and Philippe come upon an Indian encampment. For fellow hunters, the natives have left behind their beehive poles to be covered with skins to make a protective hut. The shell mounds attest to the number of canoe people who have long taken nourishment here. At the base of a moss-covered palisade, Philippe Cousteau takes advantage of slack tide to gather mussels. The scouting party from Cousteau establishes camp at the Indian site and pronounce good this gourmet serving from the sea. Once Indian families regularly traveled together in their hunting boats, and at night, parents and children gathered around the open fire for warmth and food.
Excellent.
Early explorers saw the countless columns of smoke rising throughout the archipelago and named the region Tierra del Fuego, land of fire. Captain Cousteau awaits the report of Philippe's scouting team. The men have succeeded in finding traces of former hunting parties. Their destination now, Puerto Eden, the remote and long-hidden entrance to the Eden at the end of the world.
The approach to Puerto Eden is one of nature's still wild and beautiful frontiers. Here, however, in the deep basin of today's Puerto Eden, the dark waters mirror the reality of a tragedy imposed upon a once free people. At the edge of their life-sustaining waters, a race of people is dying. A once noble and independent people who numbered 4,000 in 1850 are today reduced to 27 men, women, and children. Explorers have always been followed by exploiters. Evil had come to this Eden long ago.
Cousteau hopes to investigate the plight of the canoe people, named by their neighbors alacaloufs, shellfish eaters. They themselves prefer to be called Kawashkar, the people. But they have not had their way since their sun began to set the first day intruders sailed into their channels. In all the Chilean channels, there are only 9 men, 6 women, and 12 children left among the doomed Kawashkar Indians. In the wake of explorers, the European settlers came, gold miners, sheepmen, traders. They killed off those who resisted the invasion and brought alcohol and alien diseases. Boatmaker Ovando and his wife Rosa are among the remnants of the once free nomads who had lived here for thousands of years with a culture inspired by the sea.
There are only 5 family units at Puerto Eden. José Tonka heads one of them. The Tonkas row to a low-tide pool in search of their evening meal. With the Indians' traditional split-branch tool, all join in collecting sea urchins. Tonka's wife Gabriela remembers when the waters were more plentiful. Mercedes cannot remember when her father was a hunter. Tonka has had to relinquish the traditional role of the Kawashkar man. Once in command of his destiny, he is now reduced to working in a mine and grubbing for urchins to sustain his family. This endeavor is but a caricature of their former lives as hunters and divers at home in the sea. Not for 150 years have Tonka's people been lords of these channels. Until the 1850s, the Kawashkar thrived. The men hunted naked and free, with a phenomenal physiological adaptation to cold. Women dove in the freezing but abundant waters for food. And the children, soon after birth, were rolled in the snow to give them strength.
Cousteau and anthropologists come to visit the remnants of a race. Civilization's shacks with rusting corrugated tin roofs have replaced the dry thatched teepees covered with sealskins that shed water. Accompanied by Professor Christos Claire Vassiliadis from the Catholic University of Valparaiso, who will serve as interpreter, Cousteau enters the family hut of José Tanca.
José et Gabriela ont eu combien d'enfants?
Cousteau meets two of José and Gabriela's 8 children, Juanito and Teresa.
Juanito.
Ici, il y a Juanito.
Bonjour.
Et
Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Bonjour Mercedes. Bon. Est-ce que vous pouvez lui demander s'il a connu son père?
Tracing their lineage, in translation from French to Kawashkar, Cousteau learns José Tanca knew his father, but not his grandfather.
¿Lo conociste?
Abuela no lo conocimos.
No, no, il l'a pas connu.
Et Gabriela, est-ce qu'elle a connu son père?
Cousteau asks Gabriela if she remembers her father.
No? ¿Tu madre tampoco?
Et est-ce que son père était chasseur?
Was José's father a hunter?
Oui.
Et José est un chasseur aussi?
¿Y tú también?
Is José a hunter too?
Claro. Vamos, ayudamos con él.
Yes, he used to be, but must work in the mines to feed his family.
Est-ce que il croit tous ces animaux?
Cousteau wonders if José believes that the animals, the whales, the seals, the birds, and men, were made by something superior. Does he believe in a superior being? Does he believe there is a God?
Quelque chose de supérieur qui a fabriqué tout ça. Est-ce qu'il y a un Dieu qui a fabriqué ça?
No sé, no. Ese sé que no.
Tanca does not know.
Est-ce qu'il croit que quand on meurt,
Then, does this spokesman of a dying race believe that there is a life after death?
¿Qué piensas tú cuando después que uno muera sigue a vivir en alguna parte o no?
No,
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 no vive más.
no.
bon. Et qu'est-ce que il aimerait le mieux faire dans la vie s'il pouvait choisir n'importe quoi?
Cousteau asks Tanca what he would like most out of life, given his choice. A beautiful new boat? A beautiful new house?
¿Qué cosa te preferiría?
Ah, lo prefería que yo pueda conocerse.
Tanca longs only to travel, never stopping for more than a day, so that he may know all the parts of the world he does not know.
Il aimerait connaître le reste du monde.
Voilà.
Ah oui, ça c'est très intéressant.
Otra vez cuenta como a casa como si lo llevó de otra
At
parte.
the hut of José Lopez, Christos records some Kawashkar folklore. Lopez tells of their folk hero Atkaja, who, when attacked by a bad evil Chillam from the north, turned himself into a rat and jumped on his attacker's harpoon.
Dime, José, lo
José Lopez sings a song of love to his young daughter. The Kawashkar have no musical instruments, only the human voice. José Lopez is the last of the storytellers. With his passing, his stories and songs will also die, living on only on tape. Professor Mirka Stratikopoulou, musicologist, has been studying and compiling the songs of Chile's indigenous tribes before they become irretrievably lost.
Well, this is the local songs.
Is one of them, one of the songs, very old songs, and I don't know if you noticed that they always repeat.
It seems very monotonous to me.
It is monotonous, and the most important thing I found in those songs is that when they sing in a monotone music, on a melody, I mean, on the same note, they use only one vowel, only one and always the same, is A, usually is A, as A, Ya, Wa, and they create a rhythm of the word. Da 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 da.
But Mirka, it seems to me that this is precisely the definition of poetry.
Yes, of course, this is exactly what they do, and they have a fantastic freedom to use the word. I mean, it's not the melody the important thing.
Is this very original?
It is.
Is it possible to find the same category of one-tone songs in other tribes?
As far as I know, the most primitive melodies that exist recorded are the two-note melodies.
So this one is one note.
Is one of the most fantastic examples we have.
The songs tell of times when there were no leaders or chiefs, no social classes, no wage for labor, no need for money. For Rosa and the others, these times have passed. From native bark, Gabriela and Jose Tonka spend much of their time carving toy boats for sale to passing ships. Gabriela knows the sadness of her husband is that of the hunter, diminished to making toys. The canoe, which once represented freedom, now symbolizes a degrading struggle for survival.
Hoping to sell these souvenirs from Puerto Eden, women and children rowed toward one of Her Majesty's ships, awaiting the turn of the tide.
Throw them up, yeah. That's it. Give it a hand. Yeah, that one there. Send that one, yes.
Tonka's wife sells a boat. Perhaps most damaging of the catastrophic changes brought by the European invasion is the erosion of dignity.
It's amazing, beautiful. Yes, indeed it is. Well, I'll tell you. Of course.
Rosa had labored long stitching her bark canoe. Nobody will buy her boat. Her picture is taken.
In the heart of the Kawashka, the firebrand of independence no longer burns. Destroyed is the longing for life, initiative, or justice. Old Panchote, skilled builder of longboats and revered hunter, knew these channels well, but scarcely remembers how it was when men and seal thrived in plenty here. Here, at the end of the world, to man's credit, protected seals are returning in secure numbers, as are whales responding in sanctuaries. But it is too late for the canoe people. It is a shame that we cannot extend to threatened human populations the same protection and encouragement that we have begun to extend to other living creatures.
As Calypso departs Puerto Eden, Philippe Cousteau leads a final search for a last Kawashkar hunting party that has been at sea for some months in the web of silvery channels. Finally, the sea hunting nomads in their traditional element. It is a family of hunters, father, mother, 2 sons, and their highly prized dogs. Hunting has been sparse, but a seal skin is displayed.
We know that the young men here must marry into families outside their own surviving tight community of cousins. Their traditional ways of life will disappear. Only in their history and in the few recorded reminders of their culture will the adventuresome spirit of the canoe people live on.